Hello, welcome back to our new segment we debuted last week on the broadcast, Q&As with Formal and Replayz. We'll be answering some of the questions you guys submitted over the Discord, and we'll probably be doing this segment either weekly or bi-weekly in the future. So if you do want to ask us questions, either email us, the email provided, uqesports@gmail.com, or hit us up on the Discord in the questions channel if you're in the Queensland esports channel.
That's more for you players out there.
Yeah.
Less out. If you're people watching as well, we do scan the Twitch chats and comments in there. So if you have any questions in there, we also might be bringing those up as well. So please comment, please interact, and hey, we'll respond back to you eventually.
Of course.
And if it's reasonable.
Yes.
If it's reasonable.
If it's reasonable. So our first question for today is, what is your favorite skin in League of Legends and why?
All right, favorite skin in League of Legends. This is actually a tough one for me because there's a lot of skins I do like, and they're all very varied, but three of them come to mind, which is, first of all, Eternum Nocturne, just because I'm mostly a Nocturne main. That's the skin I use the most. And you can spam his dance, I believe, and it does this noise and it annoys people. So there's that. On a similar topic, I love Nunubot, because you can spam his laugh and annoy your teammates. So there's a trend we're seeing here right now. Pretty much any champion skin where you can spam a noise are the ones I go for.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the best voice lines in the game. Like not even that, just like the I'm smurfing on these walls.
Oh yeah.
That stuff.
Yeah, all the voice lines from Nunubot are actually fantastic. So if you want to throw down some money on a good legendary skin, I believe is what it is.
Yeah.
Nunubot. And you jungle.
Yeah.
You
I mean, for me, I don't know. I don't really have a favorite skin per se because I play a lot of Rally and Solo, right? So I just play base skin. Probably my most used skin is Cyberpop Zoe, just because the animations are much better than the base skin and you can see the sleep in Fog of War a lot easier. Cosmic Kassadin is also one of my favorites because I play Kassadin. You pretty much need to have that skin to play the champion.
Did they give that skin actually out for free in the OCE server?
They should.
I believe they have because I own that skin as well and I don't remember buying it. It just sort of appeared in my skin selection.
I mean, in terms of skin lines, I really like the Cosmic/Darkstar line. Like those skins are really, really nice and clean. The Godfistly Sin is the first skin I ever bought, so that is kind of something that's kind of cool skin as well. But yeah, like I don't know, I'm not really like a big skin guy, but like I think the skins in general are like really good. And that's one of the best parts of the game. Look at the artwork and the splash outs and that kind of stuff.
The aesthetics are fun.
But it's not so much like I don't have like a passion for skins per se.
I also, if we're going to talk skin lines, I have to bring up the Dragon Trainer line.
Yeah,
as a huge fan of the How to Train Your Dragon movie series, Dragon Trainer Tristana came out, instantly fell in love. I don't play Tristana. I own that skin. Now I play Tristana. Like it's just one of those things.
Go.
Like sometimes the skin does make you play the champion. Cosmic
Kassadin.
Yeah, Cosmic Kassadin is very much the same for that as well. So our next question is actually more specific about a champion in the jungle. Usually, I kind of gave away the answer there. Where does Kindred go?
I mean, I think Kindred is one of those champions in a quite interesting spot. She was kind of powerful for a while, but I think she's kind of fell subject to the jungle meta change as a whole. At the moment in the jungle, because the role's not as strong since they changed it a while ago, they kind of like got rid of the champion in terms of like, because the jungle role isn't strong itself, the champions that function in the jungle don't matter how strong they are individually. It's more about how different champions fit into an overall team comp. Which is why you see stuff like the Lee Sin and the Sejuani pop up now, because they just fit into more team comps, they're more viable. I mean, Kindred's still got an 11th most picked jungle in solo queue. I think he's got a 10% presence in professional play as well. So she's still around, but she's just not that same like pick ban that she was like a couple patches ago. She's still definitely good, and with the Conqueror changes as well, she kind of popped off. But there's just, the Rek'Sai, the Jarvan, the Lee Sin, the Sejuani are just so much more viable in all these different team comps that it kind of is hard for a champion like Kindred, who doesn't really work with a double marksman kind of thing if you are running her. So there's less likely of her to get picked.
I guess following on for that then, for someone who wants to play Kindred is like maybe like, hey team, help me out in this champ select. What are the champions and like what sort of team comp would you want to be based around the Kindred to actually make that viable?
I mean, one of the team comps that we did see Kindred working quite well was the game we saw, I think, week 2 between
it was,
Chisholm and Somerset.
Yes.
Where they played the double marksman with the Kindred Jinx. Because you have that what's it called? Fates? No, it's not called Fates Call.
The ultimate?
The ultimate.
Yeah, Kindred's ultimate.
Kindred's ultimate is really, really good with the... I'm pretty sure it's Fates Call. Anyway, it can keep you alive. Oh, Lamb's Respite, that's right. The Lamb's Respite keeps a hyper carry like that alive, and it means your carries can position around the Kindred more effectively in team fights, and it allows you to keep objectives alive. So another comp it works really well in is the Zillion Kindred comp. Obviously C9 ran that comp and invented it pretty much.
Yeah.
And so it's really strong because you just can keep your carries in live in team fights for so long.
Especially when sieging.
Yeah, exactly. So she's one of the, so she can work in some comps, but it's just like those kind of comps in meta isn't really viable. or isn't as prevalent. She's still obviously picked and she still can be pulled out in certain scenarios, but she's just not going to be as common as those other champions like Lee Sin, Sejuani, Jarvan that work in multiple different comps.
Exactly. As we are going to keep moving on for our next question, what do you recommend any of these current high school teams do to improve?
Look, I would say most high schoolers just play a lot of solo queue, find 3 or 4 champions for your role, and just play at like 3 games a day of solo queue. If you have time, of course, if you're studying, etc., focus on that first.
Focus on your school life first.
But so mostly just like playing, playing these champions over and over again in solo queue, getting your practice on. Don't play to win. Don't play like your Kha'Zix Rengar if you're a jungler, for example. Play like Rek'Sai, Jarvan, Warwick. Focus on learning how to path correctly. Watch YouTube videos. There's a great YouTube channel called Skill Caps, who provide really good informative videos on how to improve. So when you're playing, watch your VODs as well. Watching your VODs is definitely the best and fastest way to improve. It's really hard to do and it gets very boring, especially when you don't know how to properly VOD review. But as I said on Skill Cap, there's actually a really nice video. It teaches you how to review your VODs and what kind of things you got to look for when you're looking over these VODs. Because when you're in those lower elos, like that gold, silver, you make a lot more mistakes. So it's harder to identify which are the small mistakes to get better and better. But as you climb the ranks, these small mistakes will get more and more obvious once your play gets better and you can identify those mistakes and fix them.
That's very good at an individual level. But from a team perspective as well, there are things you can do in the game. The first and foremost is play with your teammates. Get to know them, get to know their styles, get to know their strategies. When in what situation, how do you expect them to react? Because it's important. If you can build that synergy, then soon, you'll have this idea of what we need to be doing as a team and how to play around. Furthermore, when in-game, communicate.
Yeah, and work on those communication.
Exactly. One of the biggest mistakes a lot of teams make, especially like newer teams or teams first forming, is they just stop talking after the 10-minute mark, especially if they're starting to fall behind. Because it's understandable, you might be a little frustrated, you might not be wanting to talk to your team, you're focusing on your own play. But the communication is just as viable then. You need to let your team know what the enemy is doing, where they're possibly pathing, where you want to have your ward set up, even when behind. Because if you're able to do that, then hey, you can find that pick. You can find that turnaround and start to win the game again. And then, hey, communication's fine. So it's, communication, especially when behind, is critical for all of these teams.
Yeah, and playing, it's not hard to play like a couple flex queue games with your teammates or just even normal draft with all 5 of you to try and build up that synergy.
Yes. All right. Next question. Very important question. One that is hotly contested, hotly debated, especially on Summoner's Rift.
But there's only one correct answer.
There is only one correct answer. But on Summoner's Rift, in all my solo queue games, this usually gets asked, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Big yes from me.
Big no from me?
Big yes from me.
No.
It's a no.
No.
Are you okay?
Well, no. But the reason why I'm not okay is because out there in this world right now, I live with someone who puts pineapple on his pizza every time, and I just cannot stand the smell. I cannot stand the texture. I cannot stand the taste. It is an abomination. Italians everywhere are rolling in their graves because of the pineapple on that pizza. I am hard no stance on that.
Damn, man. Honestly, there's no better pizza than a Godfather from Domino's. Get rid of the capsicum, put some pineapple on it, cheesy crust. Oh, bellissimo.
I mean, you have me with the cheesy crust. I'm down for that. I'm down for removing the capsicum because that's also kind of a strange one. But the pineapple is just the overpowering flavor. It's too sweet.
It adds that little context to the savory.
It's like little acidic heartburn balls on your already greasy pizza. So
let's agree to disagree.
Yeah, all right. Let's move on.
Hopefully we'll move on to something we can agree on. If there's one champion from this game you would remove, what would it be and why?
Talon. Because I'm an Aurelian soul main.
That makes sense, yes.
Yeah, pretty much any of those in-your-face assassins I cannot stand. You got your Talon, you have your Fizz. As much as I want to say Teemo, we're not going to take him out because he's too much of a figurehead, and well, he's easy to take care of when you're playing Aurelion Soul. You don't need to auto him, you just boop, boop, ba-doop. But yeah, so big ones, Talon, Fizz are probably actually the 2 atop my list, 100%. Anyway, the playful trickster. Hee-hee! No, not playful, not fun. There's nothing more triggering than seeing that troll ball lets him become untargetable and he bounces over a wall and gets away. I imagine you're going to disagree with this entirely,
I mean,
though.
I would like to have those removed because it would make my solo queues better, but the biggest thing that I hate in League of Legends is supports not playing supports. Lux, Vega, Brand, get them out of my games. They're not support champions. Riot should put something in the game where if you get assigned support role, you can only play support champions, nothing else. You cannot play the Xerath Vel'Koz bot or support. Like, it's just not a thing. Stop. Lux is not a support. It's not a support. It's just not. Brand is not a support. Veigar is not a support. I don't care if they have CC in their kits or shields. They're not supports. They don't help them. Please stop playing these champions and building Luden's first item as a support.
Karma's okay, though. Karma's okay.
Well, Karma's an enchanted, not a mage.
Yeah, exactly. Karma's okay. So she'll be
please.
fine. But all the other ones, get rid of them. I mean,
Please.
maybe keep Brand.
No. That's the worst one. Brand has not been reworked yet because people have kept him alive in support when he just shouldn't be in that role. He's a mid laner, but he's a very, very bad mid laner, so he's playing support.
How am I meant to climb when I get stuck on support?
Mains though, right?
Yeah.
Really, really bad at every other role, so they play support.
I mean, look, how am I meant to climb though when I get stuck on support and I don't trust my AD carry because he's going like, oh, I'm going to run Yorick bot.
You know, support's the easiest way to gain healer.
No, I actually didn't know
Support's
that.
a 56% win rate.
That
On average,
doesn't-
if you want to climb, if you want to get ranks fast, you play support.
Wait. How can support be a 56% win rate when there's 2 supports in every game and one of them is winning and one of them is losing?
I don't know how, but like support main. So if you play like over 100
Okay.
games of
Oh,
support.
yeah. Okay.
Because the reason why that is because you're relying on your team, and RNG-wise with your team as a support, you're going to throw the game less if you're a bad player because you're in a role that doesn't matter. Also, when you're playing support or AD carry, you have less to focus on. Support's obviously more mechanically less intensive, so you don't have to be as good as a player either. All you have to know is trading timings, and playing support if you're playing for another role and you have better knowledge about trading timings, and if you don't have to worry about your CS, and it's much easier to engage on them because you can just sit there as a thresh and go, I don't have to worry about CSing like I do in mid lane. I can just wait here for the AD carry to walk forward. Okay, throw him a hook, I landed. It's easy kill.
All right, but to counterpoint that, just something I want to bring up though. If you are a support main, there is obviously some skill to that because I'm sure that 56% support win rate comes from people who know how to play support. So there are advantages to that. So if you know what you're doing as support, you still can completely take over the game and still win it. Obviously,
Yes.
that advantage comes from
If you have good game knowledge from playing other roles, yeah.
Well, no. You said it yourself, it's the support mains who are winning. So it's the ones who actually know what they're doing. It's when the others, like when Mr. Top Lane gets auto-filled into support, doesn't know what he's doing, they don't have that map pressure, they don't know when to trade correctly, and then they lose the bot lane. So there's skill to support. I'm defending my support.
I can agree to disagree. Because I'm not a support main, but I have 82% win rate on support. So there you go.
Were you playing brand support?
No, I was playing Thresh.
Okay.
I have 82% win rate on Thresh.
Yeah, well, I bet you with brand support it'd probably be like in the 90s. That's all I'm going to say. All right, biggest change in patch 9.6. Our next question.
Bring back something a lot more analytical. I think biggest change 9.6, the tier thing was huge for Ezreal. Ezreal's not good anymore. They've removed double tier builds, so you can't do that. Urgot got buffed, so Urgot's kind of back again a little bit. He's still not as strong in lane because of that mana nerf he got ages ago, so he's not going to be as oppressive, but he's definitely still an option, still viable, but I think his counter picks like Shen and Sion are much more easy to take into this matchup, as well as Shen got a nice buff as well. So Shen's one of those champions you might see starting to move towards the top side. Got a lot more damage back into his Q, so he's able to trade against those high impact tanks.
Yep.
So stuff like Sion, Urgot will struggle against the Shen as they usually do, just because of the counterplay is so easy from the Shen side. Another big change was Jace got changed around, so he's less oppressive in lane, which means kind of Vladimir becomes really, really strong in the top lane now, because that's one of Vladimir's biggest weaknesses, getting poked out by Jace early. What else is big in the patch? Xayah and Caitlyn got big buffs.
Yeah.
Xayah means she can now go Essence Reaver IE, doesn't have to worry about building any attack speed items, which means she has a lot more damage in that mid game. So she doesn't have to build those Zeal items per se, which soak up a lot of gold and don't give as much damage, pure damage, as the Essence Reaver IE would. The only issue is you might run out of attack speed when your Deadly Plumage isn't active. What else is big? I don't know why Zoe got nerfed. I'm upset about that. But that's because I play Zoe, no other reason.
Yeah, she got nerfed because she was seeing a lot of play, and I think she is an unsatisfying champion to play against.
What else? Is there anything else in the patch? I think that's pretty much it.
Those are the big news to come through for the patch. That said, we'll have a more depth analysis at the start of our broadcast this Tuesday coming up. We'll dive into it a bit deeper as well, especially when we start to see those team comps coming up and how these patches will affect those team comps.
Yeah, so remember, we're going to be live again 4:30 p.m. Tuesday on UQ Esports. You can catch us then.
Yeah, you can catch us then.
Until then, we'll see you later.
This has been Q&As with Formal.
And Replayz.
Haha, we got our first try. High five. Yeah, look at that smile.
Too easy.
Oof. Oof. I actually do like pineapple on pizza. I was just playing devil's advocate.